Well, the Air Force Academy's influence on my career is kind of an interesting story because I had decided as a young boy that I wanted to be an airline pilot. And when I heard this place offered you the opportunity to go to flight school when you graduated, I said that's where I wanted to go to school. So I kind of came in as a blank sheet with regard to a military career. And my evolution actually began at the Academy. Flying was part of it as well, certainly, and I was fortunate to get into the soaring program. And it turns out learning to fly an airplane that has no engines came in handy later in my NASA career as well. The other thing was, between my junior and senior year, my 2-degree and 1st-degree year, I had the opportunity to go on summer research to a place called Edwards Air Force Base. And it turned out I met these folks out there called test pilots that summer. And they were all engineers, and they were all pilots, and they all walked around with a little skip in their step and loved what they were doing. And I kind of came back from that summer, my senior year, thinking that someday maybe a test pilot is something I could pursue, and then I could do both engineering and flying. I can remember running into a rather difficult day in pilot training, and I kind of reflected on the day and thought, this isn't so bad. Having finished the program at the Air Force Academy, the 4 years, it's going to be pretty hard for me to have a bad day in the United States Air Force. My career didn't turn out as I planned it when I was 17. My career evolved, and my approach to service in the Air Force evolved to something that became a part of me. I landed in my first flying squadron, flying RF-4s. I wanted to fly RF-4s in pilot training because at the Academy I'd had a chance to go on 3rd Lieutenant to Zweibrück in Germany and bagged a couple of RF-4 rides, and I thought, how cool is this? Well, they didn't send me to Germany, they sent me to Okinawa, which I had to look up on a map. And I landed in a squadron with some great leadership in the squadron. My first flight commander, my squadron commander, really showed me what leadership was about taking care of people and giving them opportunities and taking risks on people. And they took chances with me, and they pushed me and gave me opportunities, which led to me, fortunately, being, I think, the first RF-4 pilot to be selected to convert to the F-15 directly, which gave me the opportunity to fly a second airplane in a different environment, which I thoroughly loved. F-15 in the air-to-air and the squadron I landed in there. And again, great leaders. Going to NASA was an evolution for me as well. And the best part about NASA if you ask me the best part about any part of my career, is the people. And I worked with some terrific people throughout the whole Johnson Space Center and Kennedy Space Center, the whole organization. I mean, for crying out loud, these are the people that put us on the moon in less than a decade from a cold start. And a lot of those people were still working there. And they're every bit as dedicated as the folks I worked with in the military, and know their mission and know how important it is and how important their work is. So that was fantastic. But certainly the most unique thing was having the chance to leave the planet 3 times, and the shuttle was a tremendous system to fly on. I think my favorite parts about spaceflight were weightlessness and the view out the window. Words can't capture the beauty of the Earth from those altitudes when you're looking down, and every moment that you had to look out the window, you took it, and it was precious. It was precious. The program was you came there and you stayed there for the rest of your career. In fact, it was told to us right up front the first year I was there that there was not an opportunity for the Air Force officers assigned at NASA to return to the Air Force. 9 years later, as I thought I would complete my career at NASA, a leader in the Air Force named General Joe Ash unilaterally changed that policy at Air Force Space Command. And he came down and said, if you want to come back, I think you can help the Air Force in the space business. How lucky was I for leaders in the Air Force to once again take a chance on me. And they gave me an opportunity to succeed or fail, which is important for leaders to do. Gave me the chance to command the 9th Reconnaissance Wing. What a wonderful, wonderful command that was, and to fly the U-2 and to serve on the Joint Staff and in the Air Staff, to command the mighty 8th Air Force, one of the most historic numbered air forces in our Air Force, and then command Space Command, and then end my career in my favorite command, U.S. Strategic Command. I'm so blessed, and it wasn't really about me. It was really about the people who took a chance on me, led me, and showed me how to lead. I've always been a little uncomfortable when people thank me for my service, because frankly, I had a ball. I stayed in not because I felt like I had some duty to stay in the Air Force, I stayed in because I loved the Air Force. I loved what I was doing. I believed in what I was doing. The people who served were my family. My wife and I met at test pilot school. So, I think about when people say, well, what did the Air Force do for you? Well, it gave me my education, gave me a career, gave me the roof over my head, uniform to wear, a skill, and my bride, and just about everything else in my life somehow funneled through the United States Air Force. But my 4 daughters, they're the ones who served. They're the ones who sacrificed. My oldest daughter who went to 4 different high schools. My wife who stood on the roof of the Launch Control Center 3 times at various stages, watching her husband sit on top of 4 million pounds of high explosive 3 miles away. They're my heroes. And I think that's really important in a career of service in the military, to recognize and appreciate how much your family enables you to get up every morning and go to work and do what you love and support our great nation.